When you need advice, come to Ben and Kelly. It's group therapy on 99.7 DJX.
Before we talk to Paul and bring him into this, if you've ever got an issue and you just want the opinion of a bunch of other people, our listeners, you can shoot us a message and we'll toss it out to the group and see what we can do for you. And, you know, thinking about your exes, look, I didn't date a whole lot before I met my wife. And we started dating. We had a long, we dated for 5 years before we ended up getting engaged and then married. But I wouldn't say that I have any sort of animosity towards any of my exes. I even went to one of my ex's weddings and saw her get married. So
I had the mom of an ex-boyfriend at my wedding.
Yeah. So I mean, I think having a healthy relationship with an ex is not necessarily a bad thing, but we'll find out what Paul's issue is here when we talk to him here. Hey, first of all, good morning, Paul.
Good morning. How are you?
Pretty good. So why don't you walk us through what you wrote us?
Okay. I'm driving myself crazy. So my girlfriend and I have been dating for a while, and she is friends with all of her exes.
Oh,
like all of them, and not just friends, not like just Facebook friends or anything, but like friends. Like she talks to them.
Okay.
And I don't talk to my exes. All my exes they're gone. They're exes.
Yeah, they're exes for reasons.
Right, exactly. So they're not a part of my life at all. And here's the thing. She has an ex that she dated for a while, and he's coming into town, and he's going to stay with her for a week.
Ooh.
And I'm not cool with that. And she keeps saying, he's just a friend. That like we broke up 6 years ago. He's, just a friend. I'm not cool with it. It's driving me nuts. I'm like, he's staying in your apartment, and he's also single.
Yeah, that would raise some red flags for me. How long did they date? Do you know?
They dated for about 2.5 years.
Okay. Ended it about, 6 years ago, you said?
Yeah, 6 years ago. So I don't know if I'm overreacting, if I have anything to worry about, if anybody else, maybe I'm the only one that doesn't, hang out with their exes. I don't know. But it's driving me nuts.
Yeah, I mean, part of me is like, hey, you know what? A healthy relationship with an ex isn't necessarily a bad thing if she and the other person is, if they broke up amicably, and that's a hard word for me to say. But yeah, I tell you what, we're getting a bunch of people texted in, and I think there are some red flags that are being thrown up, but we'll see what people have to say if you want to just hang out, okay?
I appreciate it, man.
All right, Mike immediately just says, oh, hell no. Yeah.
And Michaela was like, I just choked on my gum. Lisa's, no, heck no, sorry. That is too intimate.
Is it just, I was going to say, is it just too close?
Well, yes. If she was living with her boyfriend, then he could stay with them, and then he could be there, and that's one thing. But if they're living apart, she's got her own apartment, and then boyfriend's going to go stay at her apartment. Yeah.
Man, yeah, that's interesting.
Amy said, I stayed friends with my ex, and now I have a 14-year-old son.
Oh, all right.
With the ex.
Okay. Things could happen if left unattended or unsupervised, according to Amy. Okay. I don't know if anybody listening has a ex who they've been friends with for a long time, and they realize maybe they dated and they realize, no, we're not good as boyfriend, girlfriend. Maybe we're just better as friends. And it's worked out, and they're together. I don't know. Maybe we need to hear from you guys, because everybody so far on our texting line is like, no.
Yeah, no. Shut it down.
502-795-1997. We'll take your calls, your texts, your comments. Coming up next.
No, that
my husband is doing the same thing too.
Yeah.
He's like, oh no, dude needs to stay at the Holiday Inn.
Yeah. I mean, don't like, and it's even my own reaction. I'm like, that's a red flag. I'm like, man, that is just a little too tempting. Even though you may trust her, they're in the same apartment. I mean, it's like that's. Yeah. I mean, even if you had the most trust in the world, that's a tough pill to swallow.
Angel, that's going to lend more fear to that, saying, "Hi, I'm Angel. I just want to say any boyfriend I've ever had and still friends with, I always still got with them again. So basically, we just became friends with benefits."
Ah, okay. Yeah, Taylor writes on Facebook, relationships are about respecting the other's boundaries. If that's how you feel, she should respect that.
Yes.
Okay, so Sandra, you are friends with all your exes. Tell me about that.
Well, I have exes. I have 2 or 3 exes that I'm still friends with that I actually associate with, and my current boyfriend actually associates with them too.
So I think maybe you're saying make sure that the boyfriend, Paul, is around these exes so he feels comfortable with them?
Yes, he feels comfortable with them.
Okay, Sandra, you do you. I like that. I think it'd be tough for me, but all right, I like it. Thank you for calling.
You're welcome. Bye.
Hey, Chanel.
I just separated from a current girlfriend, but it had nothing to do with my ex. But I've been friends with my ex for almost 30 years, and when we were together for 10 years. And we basically decided what you guys were talking about is that we're better off being friends. And when we decided to break up, we had a conversation that said, we both said we want each other in our lives. We love each other, that type of thing.
Just not that way.
Right.
Right. So let me ask you, did your friendship lead to any sort of issues with, the people that you dated after?
No, because when I dated people, I made it clear right off the bat that my best friend in life is my ex.
Okay.
And there's nothing between us, and I just laid the ground rules right off the bat. And if they had a problem with it, then they can just move on.
All right, thank you, Chanel. Kathy writes in and says, this happened to me recently. My boyfriend's ex-wife came to town, stayed at his house. So I stayed with him, too. Now I know why they are divorced, LOL. I'm confident with myself, and now it has brought us actually closer because I realize he's just a nice guy, letting her stay there while her mom was in the hospital and his ex is crazy.
Brittany had a good point. This should be a no-brainer. Let the ex-boyfriend stay at the ex-girlfriend's apartment and the girlfriend stay with the boyfriend. Otherwise, big nope. So she comes and stays with Paul.
Okay.
And ex-boyfriend stays in her apartment alone.
Yeah, you know what?
Genius.
That's a better plan than I think what we came up with, which was all 3 of them stay together in her apartment, which is weird.
That's a little cozy.
That's a little bit weird where, who knows the living, situation there, whether or not she has enough bedrooms or what. But
Amy suggested that too. Like that's kind of a genius way to kind of get around the whole thing, other than like sending him to a hotel. Just like, hey, all right, you can give up the apartment, and then maybe if she does want to still keep the ex in her life as a friend or whatever, that anytime she spends time with him, Paul's got to be there, and he gets to know the guy, and then maybe he gets a little bro out of this. He gets a bestie.
Maybe if you want to see the myriad of posts about this situation, you can you can head over to our Facebook page at Ben and Kelly Show, and you can get yourself reacquainted with the situation or even leave your own there at Ben and Kelly Show.